The 5 retirement killers that will completely wreck your retirement. I've been a financial advisor for more than 20 years, and there are 5 things that people consistently do that completely wreck their retirement. I'm going to discuss in this video those 5 retirement killers and how you can identify them and understand what they are. My name is Matthew Copley, President and CEO of Copley Financial Group, and I want to help you maximize your income and minimize your taxes. The first retirement killer is not all income is treated equally. Different types of income are taxed differently. When you take a distribution from an IRA, you might be taxed fully, ordinary income tax. State of California, federal, it's fully taxed. If you get income from a capital gain or a qualified dividend, you may be paying a lot less in taxes on that income. If you get money from Social Security, you may be paying a lot less, if any, federal tax, and most states do not tax Social Security at all. Or maybe you have Roth IRA money, Roth IRA distributions, completely tax-free, and those don't count against how your Social Security is taxed either. Or maybe you have passive income that we can use depreciation like real estate or depletion like oil and gas royalties. Not all income is the same. Make sure you understand the different types of income that you have, and you want to make sure that you are maximizing the income you pay less taxes on. In fact, it may be a good idea to minimize the income that you pay the most taxes on in order to maximize the income you pay less taxes on. How might you do that? Convert money from an IRA to a Roth IRA. Make sure that you're getting the maximum out of your Social Security, which you pay less federal and no state tax on. Make sure that your income that you're getting from real estate is taking advantage of maximum depreciation. This might involve a 1031 exchange. There are so many ideas that we have to help you maximize your income and minimize your taxes, and understand that not all income is treated the same. The second retirement killer is unrealistic investment returns. People come into the office and they want to put together a financial plan, and they're assuming they're going to get 8, 9, 10, or 12% returns on their investments. A lot of times this happens after we've had a big year or a big few years in the market where their returns have been very high. But you cannot count on these unrealistic returns over time. It's a lot smarter to use a 4 to 6% return. Even if you think the investment will make 8, 9, or 10%, it's a lot smarter to use a 6% conservative return on investment. Be conservative in how much income you can draw out of your accounts. And this does a secondary thing besides being conservative and making sure when you get those high returns, you outperform your projections. But the second thing that happens is you make sure that on your investments, you're not taking too much risk. When you use unrealistic returns, you tend to want to put your money in riskier investments. In retirement, we don't want risky investments. If you take a big hit on your retirement, it can cause all kinds of problems on your projections. In fact, if you had a huge crash like 2008, in October of 2008, when the markets were down more than 50% from the high, if you get a 50% return after a 50% drop, you are still down 25%. You actually need a 100% return the next year after a 50% drop just to break even. So you want to protect your accounts, and there's something in retirement called sequence of return risk. This is the opposite of dollar cost averaging. When you're younger and you're putting money into your investments, when the market goes down, good, now you can buy more cheaper. This is called dollar cost averaging. Because you're not taking any money out, as the market fluctuates, every time it goes down, you are buying more cheaper. This is a good thing. But when the market goes down and you're taking money out of your accounts, this is when you're in retirement. You are subjecting yourself to sequence of return risk. This is when the money is coming out of your retirement accounts. If the market goes down, it is going to compound your loss. Understand the difference between sequence of return risk and dollar cost averaging, and understand when you're looking at your retirement accounts, please do not use unrealistic returns. Use conservative returns, and you'll end up with a really good result, not only on the returns, but also on making sure you're not taking too much risk. The third retirement killer is not understanding inflation. Inflation is real, and it's going to have a huge impact on your retirement. Understanding how inflation works and erodes the purchasing power of your retirement is crucial. And this is a huge mistake that so many people make. For example, when they get their Social Security statement and they see how much they're going to get at 62 and they see how much they're going to get at age 70, and they think that those are accurate numbers. They're not. In fact, if you are age 62 right now and it says this is what you get at age 62, that is an accurate number. But if it says on that same piece of paper that you get $3,000 at age 70, that is a wildly inaccurate number. In fact, that number is actually going to be closer to $4,000 a month, not $3,000. And that's because that piece of paper does not account for any inflation. There is a cost of living adjustment that is applied to Social Security. That's 8 years of cost of living that's not being applied. And there are some years where this is dramatic. If we take a look at January of 2023, when the inflation rate officially was 8.7%, someone who was age 67 in January of 2023 actually got 16.7% more on their Social Security check just for waiting 1 year. And that's because they got an 8% increase for the delay, and they got 8.7% for inflation, which was not reflected on those pieces of paper. And you need to understand that looking at inflation over time, we can say, what has the average inflation rate been? Well, if we go back over 50 years and say, what is the official average CPI inflation rate increase been? It's been nearly 4%. If you take 4% every year and compound it forward, it is a dramatic number. In fact, if you were to compound 4% over the course of someone's lifetime, say 80 years, if you started with $1 the day you were born, how much you could purchase with that $1, it takes $23 to buy the same amount of goods and services at age 80. 23 times. Inflation is the real deal. My parents bought their house in 1974 for $29,000. Today, that house is worth over $900,000. It's the same house. In fact, it's an older house now. Inflation is really important. Understand how inflation works. Make sure your plan is set up for inflation. And not to mention, how do you invest the right way to make sure that you keep up with inflation? You want to make sure that your investments are in the right investments, maybe even investments that do well in an inflationary environment. Maybe things in food, energy, precious metals, things that go up in an inflationary environment, at least to have a portion of your investments to protect yourself from the inevitable inflation that you're going to see over the course of your retirement. The fourth retirement killer is being so frugal that you cannot enjoy your retirement. And I see this over and over again. All kinds of people worry about whether I'm going to run out of money, I'm not going to have enough, I'm not going to be able to make it. And so many people act so miserly with their money, and their accounts just keep going up and up and up. Now, I don't mind this as the financial advisor, because as the accounts go up and up and up, I continue to make more and more on the money that we're investing. But I want you to understand, I don't want you to die the richest person in the cemetery. It is very important that you build a retirement plan. You actually look at the various income and where it's coming from, how it's taxed, and then decide how much of this can you spend. How much of this can you enjoy in retirement? And let's make sure you're actually drawing the money out and spending it, doing the things that you've wanted to do. And if you get ahead of schedule on your income plan, if you're $10,000 ahead on your income plan, it's called Tahiti or Paris or Greece or a new car. Let's figure out how to spend that money. So be very careful looking at your retirement plan, making sure that you're staying on track and actually spending and enjoying your retirement and not worrying about whether your future is going to be okay, because if you have the right plan in place, we know your future is going to be okay. And the fifth retirement killer is not having a written income plan. You gotta put it on a piece of paper. You gotta know where the money is coming from and how it's going to be taxed. This all ties into everything we talked about on the first 4 retirement killers. Number 5 brings it all together. It is not having a written retirement plan. You've got to put it down. You've got to know where the assets are, where the income's coming from, and how much it's going to be taxed. Understanding that you want to draw different money at different times. When the markets are up, the accounts are up, the investments are doing great, draw from the profits on those investments. When the market's down and things aren't going so great and your investments are down, let's draw from the safer accounts, the guaranteed accounts, the annuities, the safe stuff, the areas that we can pull money out and let the investment accounts in the market recover and build back up. And understanding how they're taxed. We want to make sure if the markets are down, maybe you're pulling from investments that are taxable while those accounts are down, getting those money out of the taxable investments, and then letting the money in the Roth IRAs, the things that grow tax-free, let that continue to go up. Make sure you're looking at your written retirement plan and asking yourself, is there any way that I can adjust this plan to make it better, to create more income, to minimize my taxes? Make sure you have a written retirement plan. My name is Matthew Copley, and if you want to learn how we help our clients maximize their income and minimize their taxes, check out our other videos or visit our website.